Hello everyone, it's Professor Thomas. Welcome to the 9th grade overview for Junior Genius. Junior Genius starts in 9th grade. 9th grade is going to go over the grammar. This is a quick short video going over exactly what we're planning on doing. First thing we're going to do is we'll talk a little bit about the timeline, and I think the most important thing to start off with is what is the course goal at the end of the term. What are we trying to accomplish here? Alright, let's start with the goals. 1. There are 22 grammar rules that are not taught in school, and we want to make sure that we learn these correctly. When we learn these correctly, you're going to see that we're going to become a better writer, more stylistic writer. The second thing is once we know the grammar rules, we'll become a better writer. That will also help you become a better reader, and when we come over to the ACT, we will know section number 1, English grammar, 75 questions. All right, that's the goal. The timeline, first thing that we'll do is we will start in the spring or in the early summer with the placement test. The kids will come in, they will take in 9th grade a full English test from start to finish, 1 through 75. 2, the start date for the official course, once we have the placement test in May or June, we're going to start in July. It's right after the 4th of July, so it's usually the 5th, 6th, or the 7th, depending on what day of the week falls for 4th of July. 2, we're going to do as much work as possible during the summer to try and get the kids up to speed before school starts. We realize school becomes more difficult for parents to drive, kids have homework. So we'll do very, very heavy lifting in the summertime, and then we will level off a little bit once school starts. All right? In December, we are going to take our first midterm. Our first midterm is basically, let's see, do you know all the grammar rules, number 1, and test number 2 will be a real practice ACT test. That way we can compare our midterm to the placement test. There will be a break from mid-December, which is usually around the 15th or so of December, through April 1st, and I will be on my archaeology projects overseas. There will be homework assignments for the kids to do during that time, along with some practice tests that I will check when I get back. We'll start up April 1st, and we will continue on April through June. The final exam will be the second week of June, and then there will be a break. The next course, once again, will start first week of July. There will be another registration fee. So if you start, we start here in May or June. We go all the way through the 9th grade, and we finish with our final exam first week of June. There'll be a month break, and then the next course for the 10th grade, which is reading comprehension, we'll do the same thing. It will be all the way through the next year. There'll be a placement test in May, and then we will go throughout the year. So what do we do? How do we operate during the year? Once again, I'm going to do whatever I need to do in order to make sure that we hit our goals. Some kids are different than other kids, so I have many different tools to make sure we achieve our goals. 1, we're going to do one-on-one sessions. In the summertime, I'm going to hand teach all these 22 grammar rules. Once again, the homework assignments are movies I've created. They're fun, graphics, explosions, cartoons, all kinds of crazy stuff. Seeing me travel all over the world for archaeology adventures, and they're actually quite interesting. All the grammar rules have been renamed into something a little bit more interesting. For example, Cran's Island, or Formula A, or The Mystery of the Giant Razor Blade. Different Pups Rule, all kinds of different fun, crazy things that I've seen all over the world. We've changed the story and renamed the grammar rules to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'll have to hand teach those 22 rules. We'll try and get most of those done, if not all of them, from the start of the program in July all the way up until school starts. Then, once we get up to speed with learning the grammar rules, it's now time to apply the grammar rules to a real practice ACT test. We have pod sessions. It's basically a homework study hall where you come in, you take a practice test, you correct the practice test, and then you'll sit down with either myself, an intern, or assistant and go over all the rules of grammar that we missed as we correct and fill out the review sheet. We will label each question that we missed, and then I'll spot check, take a look and see what I need to attack when we come back over and take a look at the one-on-one sessions. Throughout the year, more so towards the end of the program, which is in the spring through June, there will be mini seminars if kids are struggling with some of the grammar rules. Seminars could be anywhere from 4 to 6 kids. There will be practice material. I'll teach something, and then there will be a little mini practice test that they'll take, and I'll go over all the answer choices. The placement test and the final exam test are going to be what we call mock time trials. A mock time trial for the 11th graders is a full, real, released ACT test that's timed. We will have all of our students in the test, so kids will be able to see what it feels like sitting for the whole test. The whole test for the ACT, by the way, English, math, reading, and science. It's about 3 hours from start to finish. So, 9th grade, we will do just the English grammar. The 10th grade program will consist of the reading comprehension, and then the 11th grade program is going to be the ACT, which is English, math, reading, science, and the essay. The reason some families like to start early is because if we start in 9th grade, then that section is done. We know the rules. We've played around with ACT tests. You know exactly what to expect. And now it's 2 years before we actually take our first ACT. Remember, if you join Junior Genius, the first real ACT you'll take will not be until September of the kids' junior year. All right? So that's the thing. Once we start, the kids will be practicing. As we progress from that 9th grade, we master the English. We go into the next course, which is the reading. We learn the rules, the practicing, the technique, genius mapping. We take practice tests, and then we will incorporate, if you started in 9th grade, we will incorporate reading and grammar. Okay? If you start in the 11th grade, then we have to do all 5 sections during the most important part of the high school grading. The 11th grade is where the colleges are going to look at most heavily weighted year of your high school is going to be the 11th grade. Colleges think that when you're in 10th grade, you're a little bit immature, and the 12th grade grades will not appear because they're not going to come out before we start applying. So that 11th grade year has to be solid. The advantage to starting in 9th grade is now, instead of working with 5 sections and taking AP classes in the most difficult classes, challenging yourself, and doing all that in your 11th grade year, along with all the stuff with Junior Genius, now what we do is we just break it up and we go little by little smaller chunks. The 9th grade, for sure, the easiest course, it's the least demanding. But by the end of the course, you better believe it, I'm going to make sure that these kids know the 22 grammar rules. They're able to play those grammar rules to the test, and it's going to be a direct reflection on making sure those kids know how to apply those grammar rules to become a better writer. There you have it. It's the 9th grade program for Junior Genius. If you have any questions, please contact Professor Thomas to discuss it further. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.